Warning, the following is entirely satirical and should not be taken as truth or fact. Styles Rebel Radio and the Rebel Podcast do not own any copyrighted material that may be included in this broadcast. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm not paying anyone else for piss. I make my own in-house.
Suspend the show right now.
You're gonna zipline directly into the harpoon?
Yeah,
What do you know about planes?
I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore. Welcome to the Rebel Radio Show. Live Uncut and Uncensored on WSRR Radio. You guys want to talk about classical music by chance?
Fuck no, baby.
Yeah, April Fools, motherfuckers.
Classical music, more like wipical ass with that music. That's
Wipical ass. With
Man,
that
this is a hell of a start to this show.
Yeah.
It's live, baby. Am I right, Shani?
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Hello.
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Style. 216-859-8699 is that number to text in if you're listening live with us today on this Monday evening right here on WSRR Radio or on the Live 365 app. Take us with you wherever you go. Make the switch. There it is.
Yeah.
And also make the switch over to Synergy Music Studio later on today. If you're looking to get your album or track mixed, mastered, produced, or even reamped, maybe need some session work done as well, Synergy Music Studio will help you out along the way there. They are a professional recording studio that work with local and independent artists to get your track or album sounding exactly like you want it to. SynergyMusicStudio.com. Again, proud supporters of WSRR Radio and the local and independent music scene. We got to jump right into this.
Let's jump it. Let's dive in head first.
Head first, because this is an important one.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot about some pee-pee poo-poo stories here, but this
Not
is
today.
the pee-pee story.
This is the piss of all piss stories.
Dude, the piss of piss. This is it.
I'm the king of kings. Then, now, forever.
Piss together.
Yeah.
So there's this feller. I don't even know where this is.
Portland, Oregon.
Obviously Portland, Oregon. That's exactly what I said. There's
Yeah.
this guy in Portland, Oregon who...
Alex Van Duyn.
What was that last name?
Alex Van Duyn. D-U-Y. Listen, it's a weird
Alex.
one. D-U-Y-N. Duyn. I'm doing with this. I'm doing with your shit. Oi, matey. Turn me into a lassie.
Didn't you miss this last week? So there's this guy, Alex, in Portland, Oregon, as I was saying, who, you know, just wants to take his trash out. That's all he wants to do.
He's just living his life.
Just wants to put the trash on the curb and have the trash man pick it up.
As you do.
That's all he wants. But he can't do that because he keeps finding jugs of piss in the recycling bin.
That's not what you want to find by your recycling bin.
And
That's
it keeps
not
happening.
recyclable.
So I think
Not
it is.
your piss.
Well, I think it's recyclable is my bigger issue, but
I think that
You
you're
can
wrong
drink
about that.
you can drink piss is sterile.
Not
You
that
can-
piss.
What do you mean
Yeah.
not that piss?
But
Piss in
listen,
bottles that you find in a garbage can. They would need to be tested.
I'm not
right?
saying I want to drink it. I'm just saying you could.
recycling plants are not going to be turning that piss into water. They're not going to be like, yeah, good. We
Well,
have
shame on them.
piss. We can turn it into water.
What fucking hypocrites?
It's
shame
not like
on them.
It's not like an everything recycling plant. It's a trash recycling plant.
They're not like, hey, bring your bottles of piss to the recycling plant.
Listen, let me
We'll
tell you
give
guys something.
Water.
They
I-
put like glass, plastic, paper on their cans for a reason.
Let me tell you something. I hate the recycling plant. All of them. I hate them
Whoa.
because they're hypocritical. You know why?
Why?
Because you throw one thing, you have an entire bag full of shredded paper,
Okay.
and you throw like an apple core in there,
yeah.
and instantly they won't take anything out of that bag.
Yeah.
And they throw it right in the trash.
Yeah. Why
But-
would you put an apple?
But
in
listen, hear me out. Because if I have an entire 55-gallon trash or a recycling bin full of paper,
there? Mm-hmm.
and it goes into the recycling truck,
Mm-hmm.
and there happens to be somebody else who threw away an apple core, no longer can that recycling be recycled. Pick it out. Recycle the recycling if you're going to do it.
I see.
What hypocrites.
And they also say that, like,
Never me.
Empty the piss and recycle the plastic bottles. Grow up, fellers.
They
Well, and
say
that's what
that
I
like
was-
pizza boxes are recyclable, but they're not if they've had a pizza in them.
If there's cheese
like,
on the box,
grease
yeah.
and
Oh,
the
what
cheese.
the fuck?
Yeah.
No, I still put my pizza box in the recycle.
Recycling's a scam.
Don't tell Recycle Clause.
There's rules.
Or I'll be on the naughty list this year.
You'll be on the reduce list this year.
Yeah, they will reduce me. Oh God.
So this guy, not his piss, we should clarify that. This guy keeps taking out his recycling bin, and every week his recycling is not taken by the trash company to the point
Yeah.
where he's going, why is my can not being taken? I'm going to call the trash service and figure out why my recycling isn't being taken.
Right.
To which they have to inform him, well, buddy, you keep putting gallons of piss in your recycling
It's
bin.
all the piss that's by your trash,
You
man.
can't take that.
And he goes, "What?
Yeah.
Me? No."
So apparently, and the police have been called. Apparently, somebody, no one knows who, keeps getting away with it. Every week, this guy takes his trash out. Somebody throws bottles full, but I'm not talking water bottles. I'm talking milk jugs.
Yeah, they're like
Full of
half-gallon
piss.
milk jugs.
Yeah.
It looked like from the pictures, or like full milk jugs.
Yeah,
full of
like
piss.
1 liters of piss
Disgusting.
that this guy's throwing in just this guy's trash can.
I was just gonna ask, is it like some of the neighbors too?
Oh no, just
Just
Alex,
this guy.
just old Alex, just
Just-
piss boy Alex here.
Poor Alex. Is he being targeted? Like, is this a thing?
I think it is
Maybe it's because he has such a funky last name.
probably pissed someone off.
Doin. They're like, fuck that Doin guy. Let's go
It was
piss
it was actually the mailman. He
Let's-
didn't.
piss in some bottles and put it by his recycling. That'll show him.
So
Have a last name that's weird. That'll teach him.
fuck you for being different from me.
Yeah. Let's piss in some bottles and put it by his recycling. Fuck that guy.
I mean, it is really funny. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's a great meme, but it's also
really funny. Like, I'd do
listen.
this to you.
Listen, if it was my recycling, I'd be pissed.
Oh, you sure would.
I would, yeah, I'd be pissed, but not in bottles. I'd be pissed in my toilet, and I'd be very upset that there was also pee by my trash cans.
It's
the truth.
a good meme if like I live down the street from my buddy
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, watch this, and I piss in a couple. But first of all, that's a lot of piss. This dude's storing piss. Like this is
Yeah.
like anytime he has to go, has a bottle on hand that he's resealing and reopening to fill it up.
So
Yeah.
when
This
you
is more than one piss.
when you first brought this in, I was like, "Oh, this is like a hoarder situation. Someone's like living in despair
country, yeah.
and just pissing in bottles because their toilet doesn't work or something like that. Like this is a fucked up
It's a
situation."
comically large amount of piss.
But then I realized that this wasn't someone recycling their own piss. This was someone putting piss in someone else's recycling, and I was like, "Man,
Now
can't keep
it's
getting away with
confused.
this. Is nefarious. This is
They have video footage. Like this guy has a camera.
yeah, supposedly."
And they haven't caught the guy. How evasive is this piss man?
Dude, he's quick. You can't catch him. Or
Oh.
she.
I like to.
We don't know.
That would involve a funnel. I'd
We
like
don't
to
know.
imagine they're doing it on the scene.
You think they're
Like they
pissing
show up
in the
with
jugs?
with a gallon. They piss in front of their yard and they're having a good laugh while they're doing it and tossing it in.
Maybe.
Like they're warm still when they hit the can.
Ew.
See, okay. In the security footage, it looks like someone's pulling up on the road. They don't even pull into the driveway. They just pull up on the side of the road.
Toss a couple jugs in.
Yeah, just toss a couple.
From the trunk.
Yeah, toss a couple
Do you
jugs from the
think
trunk.
He's ever like not made
They're
the
in like
seal
apple
very
juice
nicely?
bottles and like orange juice bottles and stuff.
It looks like apple juice, which is very gross.
Yeah, I would feel threatened. I'm not gonna lie. If I
imagine-
woke up and there was like 3 giant liters of piss by my recycling, I'd be like, all right,
This is a sign, but I don't know of what.
This is a bad omen.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
need
was gonna say. It's an omen.
this is something bad is happening.
I've
here.
pulled the omen card in
Yeah.
House on the Hill right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I've pulled the piss jug from the recycling bin.
I need to contact a witch doctor.
This is like the
Something's happening.
worst version of Clue.
Yeah,
The piss jug in the recycling bin from Alex.
yeah, we're fucked.
My bigger concern for Alex is that he had to take these piss jugs out of his trash and take pictures of them for the police.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
That's
Wear
what I do. That's what I
gloves.
won't want to do is just touch the piss. I don't think he is in the wrong. I don't think, as long as he's not like the elaborate mastermind behind this, where he really just wants to piss in jugs and get away with it,
Right.
and he's staging the car and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which he could. I'm not putting it past Alex.
You never know.
Weird last name.
I mean,
But unless that's the case, he's not in the wrong here. However, the recycling plant just needs to take the fucking piss.
I disagree.
Just take it. As somebody who actively hates the trash company,
Okay.
whatever I put in my garbage can is garbage. And I want you to take it to the garbage plant because it's garbage. As long as I'm not putting like flammable material, like I saw someone put an oxygen tank in a garbage can and it blew up. Obviously, don't do that.
Piss is flammable, isn't it?
No. When have you ever?
You could light piss
No.
on fire.
You piss on a fire to put it out.
Oh, I don't know. I've never peed anywhere near fire
Damn, I
before.
can't get this fire started. Hang on.
I've
I
never,
just had a lemonade.
I've never had to pee anywhere near a fire before.
Man, you
I
are
don't
not
know.
living.
I know. I guess
You
not.
gotta start pissing on people's campfires
I guess so.
and in the recycling bins.
It's gonna be a wild. It's gonna be a wet summer.
It's piss boy summer, dude.
Yeah.
That's what we're on the track for.
Yeah.
Piss man summer.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, if I put anything in the garbage, I expect you to take my garbage.
Well, it's one of those things too where I've always heard that the recycling and the trash just go to the same place.
A lot of
Mhm.
places they do.
So what? Does
Where
it
you
matter?
live, they do.
So
I
what,
found that out firsthand.
Yeah. So what does it matter? What
It
does
doesn't.
matter?
It doesn't.
Right.
It's all a scam.
Why am I piss? No piss. Trash, recycling. Who cares?
Listen, if I can put a laptop in a landfill for 30 years,
Yeah.
why can't I put piss?
Just dump out the piss.
Just empty the piss. You can still recycle the bottle.
The
Just wash
police
out
should
the
take
bottle.
piss.
It's evidence.
Yeah.
Put it in lockup.
I'll say, working at the thrift store, I would open up like the donations and I would get piss. I'd get piss
Human
bottles.
piss?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
would-
get piss bottles?
Yeah, I would assume human piss bottles. Yeah. It was
That's
bad.
a very talented cat. if it's not human piss bottles.
It's my cat. Teach it how to piss into bottles.
Well, they sell
Never
like
change a
the-
litter box
Yeah.
again.
for hunting. They sell like what coyote urine and,
And
like,
deer piss and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And you're supposed to like cover your body in it.
I won't be doing that.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I'm good on
I'll
that.
pee on myself, thanks. I make my own.
I just
I'm not
pissed
paying
myself.
I'm not paying anyone else for piss. I make my own
Isn't it like
in house.
if you pee on if someone got jellyfish sting, but then like fish or not fish.
If you pee on fish,
I
Snake
heard
bites.
that is like, or the jellyfish thing. I heard it's a myth because it's just the warmth
I
that
thought it was
is
snake
like
bites too.
taking it out. Well, snake bites you're supposed to suck on, right?
yeah, you suck the venom out of snake bite.
Oh no.
Fuck, I got bit by a snake. Hang on.
I would be
I'll
fucked in
piss
the
on
jungle.
you.
I'd get bit by a snake. Someone come piss on my hand right now. I'd be fucked. I'd be
I just
so
imagine
dead.
being with you in the woods. You get bit by a snake. Piss on me, piss on me, piss on me.
Quick, someone needs to piss on me.
Why?
I got bit, obviously.
Going to the fucking ER. Like, when we see a snake bite, why do you smell like piss?
Doctor, piss on me.
This is infected bad, Shane. What happened after you got bit?
Don't worry about
My
it.
snake bite has a UTI.
I got my suck on and my piss on mixed up.
I also severely need mouth surgery from sucking on the jellyfish, guys.
Oh,
You gave that
God.
thing a smooch.
Yeah, I'd be fucked if I ever went to the woods.
New Jersey woods, especially.
So much, I'd be swimming through the spaghetti.
You'd be swimming through the spaghetti and end up getting pissed on by a jellyfish.
The woods.
Dudes. I
Yeah.
think the recycling plant needs to grow up.
No, they're not taking. Listen, I'm on the side of recycling plants don't need to take the piss.
But
They need to start taking my piss.
I think the guy, Alex, he's like at a loss. What does he do with the piss?
I think
No, he's at a net gain. He has gained piss.
think-
No.
my boy Alex needs to get a gun when he needs to do.
I
I'm
think-
pretty sure I'm pretty sure we live in the United States, guys.
Stay awake and
Just
like
get a
wait.
fucking gun. Stay up a couple extra hours.
Wait up
This
for
won't
the
be a
piss
problem
man?
anymore.
Or just, take your trash out in the morning instead of the night before.
Yeah. There's so many ways that you can go around this problem.
Or stop recycling.
Yeah. yeah.
Stop recycle.
Maybe he
It's
needs
a
to
sign.
switch his recycling and trash where he puts them just to throw off the person who's
What if he puts like a sign on the recycling bin that says not recycling?
no piss, please. On the trash can.
All right, here's my solution. If I'm Alex, I'm going to Home Depot and I'm buying my own 55-gallon trash can,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to paint on it, "This is the piss deposit." So they know where to put it.
Uh-huh.
So there's no more confusion on where the piss goes. You have trash, recycling, and piss.
See, I would do that, but then I would hide in it and I would wait
To
until
get pissed on.
wait until he opens it, and I'd be like, stop pissing in my, or stop putting your piss in my trash.
You're running a real risk
I'd-
hiding in the piss can.
I'd pop out and say, this is a citizen's arrest.
216-859-8699. Where do you put your piss?
Hi, this is Melissa.
Hey, it's Matt.
Hi guys, my name is Ari.
Coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
Come through to a Synergy Naked session.
Synergy Naked is a live performance recording, also captured on video. Look for our releases on YouTube at Synergy Music Studio.
We're located on the south side near Chicago.
Passing through? Hit up our DMs on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
Your dad didn't leave for cigarettes. He's out in the car listening to the Rebel Radio Show. Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR. We're brought to you by GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. They sponsored our March Madness tournament for college basketball, which should be coming to a close here within the hour. So we'll have to, I mean, we're not going to be on air when the update happens, but WSR Radio on Instagram.
I'm working on my screams.
Yeah? I'm working on my poop.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I'm working one up right now. I'll let you know in an hour.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
We're building. It's a building season.
It's a building phase. We're on our training arc right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else working on their poop.
Uh-oh.
The chucker.
Keep him at a far distance.
You might have heard of the pusher before. No, this is the chucker.
Push it.
Yeah, that one.
Poop it real good.
Yeah, that's right, folks. You're getting a doubleheader today. Piss and poop.
You can't beat it.
It's like popcorn and
poop.
cocaine.
What?
What you said. What? Yeah. What he said. So there's a mysterious poop chucker in Colorado, ladies and gentlemen, and they might be coming after you if you don't
Only
pick up your
if you
dog's
don't pick up your
Yeah.
dog's poop.
Yeah.
Has this been one person that's been targeted by the poop chucker?
Probably. I
I'm
think it was
assuming.
that one
That's
lady.
what I read. Is one lady has been targeted by this poop chucker.
So
Yeah.
basically, this lady didn't pick up her dog's shit at the park. And this, I'm assuming one guy?
I would assume. I don't think it's like an army of chuckers.
Oh,
Okay.
was it?
It's not like an anonymous situation.
Was it in the park? I thought it was in like people's yards and shit like that. The dog was pooing.
Oh,
But I could be
was it?
wrong. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
Honestly, no idea. This lady was letting her dog shit somewhere. Wasn't picking it up.
Right. Which is bad.
And then whoever...
Hang on. Several of the woman's neighbors have noted the woman is failing to pick up her dog's waste. So I'm assuming
Aha.
around the neighborhood.
Right.
pooping in people's yards.
Not good.
Mm-mm.
So because this lady is not picking up after her dog, some vigilante is taking the poop
Good
and
Samaritan.
throwing it in this lady's yard.
Yeah.
Bagging it up, chucking it.
Better man than I, because that's some dirty work.
It's for the greater good. you
Is
know?
it?
I like
I
it.
think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a noble duty.
He's cleaning up the
Literally.
neighborhood and returning it to where it belongs.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
You
saying,
forgot this.
Yeah.
He's saying, fuck you in particular.
And he's at least bagging it up.
Right.
I don't disagree with the statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're gonna go touch someone else's dog shit and you're also gonna bag it, just throw it away at that point.
Well, they make
No,
like little
no.
devices that are like the excavator scoopers, you know?
Oh,
Get
yeah.
like a backhoe in there.
Yeah, you like pinch it and then it scoops up the poop.
I mean, that's what I use.
I've seen those.
You pinch the lever and then it's on like a rod and it has like a
It's like a rod and pulley system
kind of.
for poop.
Yeah.
Man, when do we get something like that? I'm getting real sick of pooping it in my hand and putting it in the bowl.
I know. You know what? I know we've talked I know we've talked about it before. That's the craziest shit ever to admit on live air, that you poop in your hands and you let it go into the toilet. How do you go at least 30 plus years and not know? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a clip of this guy online who's on like live air on a talk show, and he admits that he poops in his hands and then he lets it go into the toilet.
He
and-
drops it softly.
And everyone in the room is completely stunned. It's a real thing. Look it up. Can't believe that shit still
Which-
to this day.
Okay, hear me out.
No.
No, I'm not defending that.
Okay.
Nah, that guy's weird. Because like then you have to wash your hands after.
Yeah.
Well, you have to wash
But,
your
like-
hands after you poop anyway.
Yeah. Styles like, what?
How
Fuck that shit.
dirty are you getting?
I'm licking my fingers as I walk out of the bathroom,
That's
dude.
only if you're doing a bad job, man. Like either you got a lot of poop, or you're doing a bad job wiping that you're getting it all over your hands.
No.
Style comes out of the bathroom wrapped like a mummy in toilet paper.
Ew.
Yep.
No, dude, I only wash my hands if I get poop on them.
Yeah.
Like it.
I only
No.
wash my face if I get poop on it. So. All right, we got to stop talking about piss and poop because
No, we have to talk more about poop. Actually,
we revert back to like our 4-year-old selves. All right.
I just think about the time that you told the story about going to a public bathroom and getting your feet on the walls for grip.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes you have to.
Taking
Okay,
off all your clothes.
Let me ask
Yeah.
my damn question real quick.
Okay.
This is a
Yeah.
short segment.
Go ahead.
You ever turn around
Yes.
on the toilet and use the shelf?
No, but I have thought about it.
I think about it often.
That'd be a
I spend a lot of time in the war room, and like,
your bathtub is not the war room. Can I just say
this
that?
man has never won a war. Let me put that on record.
Oh, I
Shaney
have.
has never won a war,
I've-
and he's
I've-
criticizing my war room.
Listen, my mental state is the war room. All right, I never leave.
And you think you're winning?
I never
All right.
leave.
No, the shelf. The shelf would come in handy. You got a place to put your apple juice while you're in there.
Oh.
Nope. No, you're pooping different, man. You're
Hey,
pooping
I
different.
poop different.
Oh, hey, good for you.
You'll catch up. You'll catch on. That's how John Crapper invented to be used.
I think that this guy's doing the neighborhood a service, and I
Yeah.
don't think that there need to be a police intervention.
I
Not at
agree.
all.
I agree, but like this guy is definitely weird. He's voluntarily picking up the poop.
He's returning lost
Dude,
items.
there's poop all over everyone's yard in the neighborhood.
And it's this
You're
lady's
like, this
fault.
is. You're driving down your road after you get home from work, and you're like, this is disgusting.
I think these neighbors
Yeah.
need to get a gun.
All right, well,
this
not,
is America, isn't it?
not every solution.
I think this solution is solved if you come out and the lady and her dog are pooping in your yard.
Both of them.
Yeah. And you show up with a gun.
What if the lady's pooping in the yards too?
That's what I'm concerned about.
And just getting away with it. Like, yeah, sorry, my dog takes a really small poop and then a really big poop next to it. Sorry.
It's like a 2-for-1 deal, you know?
Yeah.
There's the story. I think it's like an old Reddit story or something. It's got to be fake. There's no way it's real. But the pooping in the cat box, do you know about that?
The girl.
The
that
girl-
was on
Oh,
a date.
Yeah, she was on a date and
Yeah.
she pooped in the guy's cat box because she didn't want to
Yeah.
ask where the bathroom was. And then he asked if she did that.
Yeah.
And she said no, and the cat was dead for like 6 months or something like that.
Have you heard the poop knife?
Yeah,
Read
dude.
read the poop knife story.
Oh, I know about the poop knife.
That's a crazy.
I know somebody.
Oh.
No, don't say you know a poop knife
no,
person.
No. I know somebody who has a poop stick.
Excuse me.
Mm.
You know someone. You both know this person. He's got a poop stick.
Get them out of my sight. Whoever, if it's Chris Jericho, get them out of my
It's not.
sight.
It could be. I cannot confirm or deny if Chris Jericho has a poop stick.
Chris Jericho probably has a bidet.
Something that I've
no,
seen.
Chris Jericho's too much of a man for that.
Something that I've seen that's interesting. People will be using people will use spatulas for their babies' butt creams
What?
to like put the
Like
butt.
a silicone spatula?
Yeah.
You've seen this in person.
I've heard about it.
You,
and
you're like,
I've heard about
my
it.
niece is getting changed, and someone just whipped out a spatula. Like, what? We're
I-
making burgers.
Yeah. We're flipping burgies.
Flipping babies.
Yeah, we're flipping
Don't
baby
do that.
burgies.
Hey, don't do that. If you're out there listening, and you're thinking about using a spatula on your newborn baby, don't do that.
Use your hands.
Yeah, that seems weird, man. It seems like cruel and unusual punishment. If your dog's pooping in someone else's yard,
Pick it up.
don't do that.
Yeah, pick it up.
Listen. And here's my solution. You're gonna think I'm a bad person for this.
Usually do.
Don't pick up dog poop because it's gross. However, don't let your dog poop in someone's yard because it's rude. You let your dog poop on the government property.
Oh, pooping
The
on
tree
si-
lawn, the city
Oh.
has to take care of that. I pay enough in taxes to where if I have a dog, the city can pick up the poop on the tree lawn. Or my neighbors need to get a gun. There's only two solutions.
In theory, I agree with you. In practice, I know that the city would not be cleaning up that dog.
The
poop.
city can't handle the guy that's pissing in my trash can.
That's what I'm saying.
Let your
They're
dog
gonna
poop
have to
on the
deal with
road.
it. Don't let you. No,
Yeah.
I would be infinitely more pissed off
I would
if I had a neighbor whose dog pooped in the road than in my yard. If I'm driving and it's a regular occurrence that I'm running over dog shit and smelling it,
yeah,
I am so much more livid than like
Yeah.
once in a while seeing turd in my yard.
You would have hated where I grew up. There was always horse shit in the road.
That's different. They're horses.
no.
That's worse.
They
Yeah.
poop, and the horses just. First of all, horses pooping is wild. It just happens.
Yeah,
Like imagine if you just did poop.
it's almost like they get excited to poop.
You
ever
don't.
seen that?
I'm sorry, you don't get excited to poop.
They start like jumping and
You get a
farting
tray?
and shit. It's true.
Shane, I've seen you do the same thing.
All right, you're right.
You like
But-
click your heels sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Start
Fart comes
neighing.
out.
oh god, Shane's gonna shit. We must be near the pack, son.
I start acting like a horse every time I do shit. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, who needs a classical music show? Am I right?
Yeah, fuck that shit.
No, I'd be livid if the dog was pooping in the road. Like
Yeah.
that would make me like actually do something. I wouldn't be as polite as this man. I would be getting one of those grabbers you talked about and
Chucking it
aggressively
at their
chucking
house.
it. Yeah.
I love dogs, but the sight of a dog pooping is kind of guttural and disgusting. I'm gonna
Yes.
be
Well,
honest.
yeah. I don't think anyone enjoys that. Or at least you shouldn't.
No, it's
The
just,
dog doesn't enjoy it. Have you ever seen a dog's face while he's pooping?
It's just one
He's
of those
ashamed.
things where I love my dog so much, but like, and I will watch it poop because it watches me poop. But I'm like,
Returning the favor?
bond.
but I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked.
216-859-8699. Where do you poop?
If LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy, and even manipulation when it comes to digital distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around on the internet? Make your release something special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next release pressed exactly to their liking. So check out Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl pressing plant today by visiting hellbendervinyl.com to get started. And don't forget, all customers at Hellbender Vinyl get 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
This is Preston Harden, creator of True Vault Escapades, a show combining my love for the Fallout games and old-time radio of days gone by. If you're looking for a classic detective show set in the retro-futuristic post-apocalyptic wasteland, this is definitely for you. You can find us on any podcatcher like Apple or Spotify, and hear it exclusively here on WSRR Radio every weeknight at 10 p.m. Tune in today and prepare for the future.
Attention, have you or your family members been affected by ESPN and their boring hot takes or their repetitive programming? If so, you are not entitled to compensation, but you may be entitled to join WSRR Radio at 10 a.m. on Mondays to hear new episodes of Cleveland's newest sports talk show, Behind Enemy Lines.
Are you ready, kids? It's me, distinctively non-copyright, unspecified Sponge Man, and you're listening to the Rebel Radio Show on WSRR. Make the switch.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. I am Shane E.
And I am Jules.
Rebel Studios is under fire right now, so we're holding the fort down. Switch 2 got announced, I think, last week.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a big topic of debate. I actually didn't bring, normally I'm the video game guy, but I didn't bring this one in today because I just kind of felt like, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be expensive, and we all know it's going to be expensive, but we just looked at, before we came in, we looked, it's $450 for the pre-order right now, and I thought it was going to be, at least I heard.
I heard it was going to be like in the 600
Yeah,
realm.
I heard it was going to be 600s. And then the games are... Rebel Studio is taking damage right now. Games are retailing at $80 in the US. And so that's going to be like the most expensive video games have, I think, ever been in the US for like retail. They were $70 for the PS5.
Well, even digital games have gotten expensive.
Yeah, which is great. And it's crazy to think with this is becoming like a big thing with, again, like the PlayStation, and I think the Xbox has a digital only version too. But it's interesting to think about, you don't own that copy of the game if you buy it digitally.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like essentially, or Nintendo or whoever is telling you, you have the right to use this game for however long. If they decide, yoink, we want this game off shelves, or we want to pull this game for whatever reason, they could theoretically take it off of your device if you had already like pre-downloaded it off the game store digitally or something like that. And I think about that with like streaming music and stuff too. It's very strange that you don't own all of your music on your Spotify. You just are kind of, Spotify is just allowing you to use it for as long as you're paying for it. By the way, I think I can say confidently, here in the Rebel Studio, we sound good. I sound, at least I feel like I sound okay.
Yeah, you sound good, Shane. Good
Thanks.
job.
I'm feeling better. I defeated all my demons, and I sound good. I feel good.
Even though you don't have a war room?
I have a war room. Sorry. It's just in my brain.
I don't have a mic. Oh, there you go. I was talking this whole time actually, and my mic was just turned off.
Yeah, we were over talking you.
Yeah,
it felt like what you had to say about the Switch just wasn't.
Well, yeah, I don't play the Switch, so you just you thought I was
got a Switch though, right?
I did. I got a Switch when they came out too. I worked at GameStop and I got a Switch.
Yeah.
No, I was hyped when the Switch came out because of two things. Because Pokemon Diamond is my favorite Pokemon game. It's the one I grew up playing. There's probably over 100 hours in that game.
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet. They're remastering Pokemon Diamond. Never thought they would because it wasn't like a huge game.
Right.
So I wanted to get my Switch specifically for Pokemon Diamond.
Right.
And then Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga was coming to the Switch, or Skywalker, whatever.
Skywalker Saga.
Yeah. Complete Saga was way back.
That's the OG. That's like the GameCube.
But I grew up on Lego Star Wars too on the Game Boy, so I'm like, sweet, I'll get Lego Star Wars. And then I got both of them, and I played them both for like a week and a half, and I never touched my Switch again.
I play the Switch daily.
Yeah, see, I guess I forgot about that too. I was just talking about the games that I have for my Switch that I haven't played yet.
Yeah.
And so I have Princess Peach Showtime, which is like Princess Peach's game for the Switch. It seems fun. I'm excited for it. And then I have Lego Star Wars. I forgot I got that for like $5 on sale. But I was into playing my Switch when I got the OLED, and I was super hyped about it, and I played like Super Mario Wonder and stuff like that, but I don't know, I've kind of been in a lull. I haven't been playing it recently, and maybe something like more games coming out for the Switch 2 and then being ported to the Switch will get me to play. But I wonder too if that'll change the retail price for Switch games.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You think Switch games are going to start being $80? Because that would kind of be fucked up.
I think so. Definitely.
It's just one of those things where, like we were talking about it before we went on, I remember getting the Switch for $300.
Right.
And that was expensive to me at the time. But like $450 is like... And granted, it's going to be a nice console. It's going to be a high-res console. I've seen, like, it sounds silly, but I've seen Fortnite gameplay on there, and Fortnite runs like dog shit on the original.
On the Switch? Yeah, it's
runs
garbage.
like dog shit. But it's supposed to run pretty good. Like, from the gameplay that I saw, it looked clean and, like, high resolution and shit. So
here's my big issue, right? Nintendo, more or less, has been the economy console. GameCubes were like $50 when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii wasn't that expensive. Everybody had the fucking Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you had Game Boys and DS. I guess like the 3DS when they started like up them a little bit, like make all the extra shit.
Yeah.
You had the 2DS, the 3DS, the DSi, like all the extra shit. I guess those are probably a little more expensive than they should have been. Resale on them is crazy.
I remember I got my little brother a 2DS for, I was like, $30 at the time.
Okay,
like 35, brand new in box, came with 2 games.
Oh, no shit. All right.
Yeah. From, like from the store.
Well, that was an answer to the 3DS, because the 3DS was super pricey, because you had like the 3DS XL or whatever, and it was like $400 for a handheld game.
And that was supposed to be like the cheap version.
Yeah.
So
you could play the same games on it, but it wasn't the fancy
It was like
one.
a flat thing.
It was your sedan.
Yes.
Yeah. But like more or less, the Nintendo brand has always been the more economy brand. Even the Switch, like when the Switch came out and the Switch Lite came out, especially, you had the Xbox X and S, and you had the PS5 coming out at the same time.
Right.
And again, a lot of it was due to supply and demand. But like you had PS5s going for $550.
Retailing.
Minimum retail.
Retailing. You're buying it from like Best Buy or GameStop or wherever from that price.
The Xbox X was about the same price. I bought the S specifically because they ran a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox S brand new, like the month that came out, was like $250, $300.
Oh, dude!
Like that, it was the price of a Switch.
Right, and they would always do the X would be, or like the X would be more expensive and the S would be less expensive, where they had like the digital version that would be less money.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing with the PS5, where they had the console, or not, the disc like plug-in.
Yeah.
And then they had the one that was all digital, and the all digital one was cheaper.
It was like $50 cheaper or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, even with that though, the Switch when they came out, they're like $350, $400. Switch Lite was always like $200 new.
Yeah.
Which I mean is a good deal for a console.
Right.
But the thing is, my problem with this, and especially now, Switch 2 is coming out. It's the price that an Xbox or PlayStation would be at retail, if not more. More than an Xbox S, certainly.
Right.
So you have this. You have games that are going to be $80 base price now. Not talking deluxe, not talking a special release and anything like that. Because now those are going to be outrageous too.
Yeah.
You get like a deluxe version of Pokemon or something that comes out, you're looking at like $200.
Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be like $200.
So like at a base price, you're paying more than you should for a Nintendo product. And my big issue, and you've heard me talk about this before, Nintendo games are not to the standard that other games are. And I'm not talking playability, because they're fun games. They're very beloved.
Right.
Mario, Pokemon, Sonic, right?
Staple games, right?
Yeah. But they're not Halo. They're not graphically, they're not like storyline advanced as a Halo or even a Call of Duty or an Assassin's Creed. Like,
Well, I don't know. They did really well with Hogwarts Legacy.
Are you saying like they aren't going to be able to compete with the Xboxes and the PlayStations in terms of they can run things like a Halo where a Switch 2 can't?
kind of. Running it is certainly part of it, but like even just quality of game. Like you look at a Mario, that's a lot easier to make and code than a Halo is. There's a lot more detail that goes into a Halo, just from an engine standpoint.
I think, in my opinion, it's a lateral move. I think they're working within the refrains that they can with a Switch.
Right, but because of that, they should not be the same price as an Xbox X.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like at your very best, you're not gonna run Halo, Halo 5 on a Switch. It won't work. You
Right.
can't run Fortnite right now on a Switch, which graphically is about the standard of a normal Switch game.
Right.
So like the fact that can't run on a normal Switch is crazy to me. And there's a bunch of games like that don't run right on the
Right.
Switch. Like even games that are from years ago that they just ported don't run right on the Switch.
Right.
You're always going to have that limitation, and that's a limitation that you have to have when you're going to handheld. You can look at like the PS Pro, and they have limitations when it comes to games because you can't put a full-fledged game on a handheld and expect it to run exactly the same. So like that's always going to be a limitation when it comes to the Switch, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous that now I want to play Mario Kart, a game at its essence, which is much more limited than like any other race, like a Gran Turismo, right? I could buy a Gran Turismo racing game for $70 right now for the PS5.
Right.
And I could buy Mario Kart for $80 for the Switch too.
Right.
You're much more limited at a base value, and you're charging me more.
I see what you're saying.
And that's where I don't think it's right.
I don't know. I'm also worried about the breakability of the Switch 2 because I saw the new Joy-Con connectors.
Oh yeah, how they like click off.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem very stable to me.
Yeah, I've seen
my Joy-Cons already are a little unstable, and they're the whole locking mechanism. You know.
I had to get a new Switch because my first one had Joy-Con drift.
Well,
my sticks completely broke.
Let me tell you this: working at GameStop, number one thing that came back:
Joy-Cons.
Switches.
Yeah.
Switches in general because of the Joy-Cons. People didn't know how to take them out right, or they wouldn't lock in right, or the pins wore out, or the Joy-Con wore out. Another thing, because they are just connecting to the actual dock, you cannot test a Joy-Con for stick drift at a GameStop. So like if someone says, hey, I want to return or I want to trade in my Joy-Cons, all we do is ask them, well, do they work? Is there any drift? No? Okay, they're on the shelf.
Wow. That's
we
crazy.
couldn't physically test them because you don't have like a model Switch in store to...
Right, I see that.
Yep. Whereas like an Xbox or PlayStation or a 360 controller, we have a system set up through GameStop where you plug it into the computer and it analyzes every button as you press it. And if it sticks, if there's drift, if there's rumble.
Interesting.
Switch,
that's crazy.
Nothing like it.
I will say, this is something that I've thought about getting, because I just got my OLED semi recently. And I, like I said, I went through a big like surge of playing it and I really loved it, and now I'm kind of in a lull of not playing it, even though I have games that I want to play. But point being, Nintendo feels like, at least in my opinion, and this is from like having a PlayStation and having an Xbox and also having Nintendo consoles, having the Wii and the GameCube and the DS, whatever. Nintendo products, especially now, feel like a toy.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm playing with a toy. Whereas playing a PlayStation or something like that, I feel like I'm operating a system or something like that. And it sounds dumb because
you're right.
My PlayStation is just a Fortnite or streaming machine for me for the most part. So like I'm not doing any intense gaming.
And now they cost the same amount of money.
Yeah, right. And so it's like, why am I not playing Fortnite on... I don't know.
Well, to your point, and I was going to bring this up, I think you're absolutely right. And I think the problem is, starting with our generation, we have always been the market for Nintendo. Like before us with the GameCube, but the N64, we weren't the market, obviously. And you can see, as it reflects in time, the NES, the N64, the GameCube, right? They're all marketed at like kids to teenagers. All of them are. I could say the same thing about the Game Boy, the DS, marketed at kids and teenagers. I could say the same thing about the Wii. The Wii was more of a family console.
Yeah.
But primarily who was playing it? Kids and teenagers, right? After that, even with like the 3DS, you're marketing to teenagers to adults because the kids that were playing all those Nintendo systems are growing up and they're cashing on nostalgia. I think that's exactly what Nintendo's doing. Even with the Switch, I think the Switch was a huge cash grab where, like you said, it seems like it'd be marketed as a toy game. Like when we were 10 years old and we had a DS. Seems like the perfect handheld console for a kid at that age.
Right.
So does a Switch.
Right.
But who's buying the Switches? 20-somethings, 30-somethings are buying these Switches so they can play the remaster of Pokemon or the new Mario game or the new Zelda that came out.
The new Animal Crossing.
Right. So like they know that, and I think they're marketing now, and this is why they can get away with price hikes like this and essentially selling the same console with the same limitations to a degree at such a high price because they're not selling it to 10-year-old Timmy anymore.
Right.
They're selling it to the 35-year-old who wants to play the new Mario Kart, who played the first Mario Kart.
The nostalgia factor.
Yeah, it's Nintendo is running strictly off nostalgia, and they get away with it.
Well, and it's a situation that's so difficult too because they're so unique in the gaming industry of like they have a corner on their market, which they have built up over years of good reputation. And so you're not going to play the new Mario Kart game on your PlayStation.
Right.
That's
right.
That's never going to be possible. And so if you want to, like we were just talking before we came on, I'm really excited for the new Donkey Kong game, but to buy the Switch and to buy that, it's going to be like $560 or something like that, $570.
Yeah.
Do I want to spend that much on
That's always what I think about, and I think
just to play Donkey Kong?
Right.
One system, one game. Yeah.
Right.
that's always the biggest factor I look at is the initial purchase.
Right.
What am I going to spend out of the gate to buy this? When I got my Xbox S, I got it like a year after it came out, and I got it with a trade because I knew that I could trade. I traded my old Xbox and Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I traded a Switch for it with my old Xbox controllers and a Switch. I traded for my Xbox S, and because the S was only $250 brand new, and I had like a pro membership through GameStop and a discount, so like I paid maybe $60 out the door for the S for a second controller, and ended up whatever game I pre-ordered with it,
Right.
like $60 out the door for all of it. That's fine by me. Even the $250 would have been fine by me out the door. But you're looking at this, it's $600 something odd dollars with tax just for this console if you pre-order it, right?
Right.
So you pre-order this console for $600, then you don't have games on it. You don't have a Nintendo account on it if you haven't already set up a Nintendo account. So you're paying another $80 for a game, one game. You're paying $10 a month for Nintendo Online. You're paying for Joy-Cons. You're paying if you don't want it's all this other shit that like just to play the game, you have to spend more than the console's worth.
Well, and that's something else that we didn't talk about. The game. The game that shows you, I forget what they're calling it, but there's a game that essentially like walks you through the system as like a tutorial game.
The demo disc
The demo disc sort of thing. And they're charging $10 for it. It's
so
not
stupid.
It's not a free included thing. It's not something that is like, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you get this. It's a $10 purchase no matter what, and so many people are going to skip out on it and not.
Yeah, because why would you pay that much for? Why would you pay anything for a tutorial?
Right, there's zero replayability.
Yeah,
it's just there to teach you how to use the console for the first time. If you don't know how to use it, it makes no sense at all.
This gives me very dystopian, like North Korea vibes of the console's out and we don't put any games out for it other than this tutorial for the first year. So you have to buy this game if you want. But they're putting games out, so it's not like that's happening.
Right.
But like that's the only scenario I could see someone paying for this game because it's the only thing made for this console.
Yeah, it's just such a strange
and game is a stretch. It's like a demo. It's a walkthrough.
We were talking about it before we went on about like Wii Sports was a free included game. There were demo discs and
they shot themselves in the foot with Wii Sports. And I think they are the reason why we will never get anything like that again. Because they realized the free game they gave with the console was the best game that they put out.
Right.
Everyone fucking loved that game.
Right.
It was probably the most played fucking, like, I think
thousands of hours per console.
Yeah. I
per
think
household. Every family get together in the 2010s was Wii Sports.
Wii Bowling. Everyone wanted to play Wii Bowling.
Right.
It was like Mario Odyssey. It was like the second or third best like selling Wii game. But I'm pretty sure like Wii Sports was the most played Wii game.
That.
Because it was free. It came with the console and everyone liked it. It was simple enough. They'll never do that again because they saw how much replayability it had. We saw it with the Switch. They could have put out Switch Sports for free.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And it wasn't a $60 game. Because they knew people would be mad. It was like a $35 game.
Right. But it was the same concept as
But it
Wii
tested
Sports.
the waters for this.
Yeah.
Now you don't even get a game. You get how the console works. Pay us $10.
Yeah, that's true. It's not even like... Because Wii Sports was a tutorial and a game.
Yeah.
It was a game.
Several games.
Right. It was several games that were like...
teaching you how to use the motion controls.
Yeah, cloaked as a tutorial, or tutorial cloaked as several games, you know?
Yeah.
And this is just a boring tutorial. It looks like you're walking around the Switch 2, which that's kind of a fun concept, but there's no game. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I haven't played it, but there's no game aspect to that. Like, it just seems like it's a very obvious cash grab. And you're right. I think the testing the waters of the Switch Sports thing being $30 or whatever it was, that was a total indication of like,
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. Something this way come.
We will never get another like console release with a game that's not like a bundle that you pay extra for, right? It's that we're never gonna get another. Hey, here, you bought a Switch. Here's a free game. It's not gonna happen anymore.
Right.
I'd be surprised if we see it across any console now. Like obviously they do the bundles and they make a shit to like the PS5 had the God of War bundle.
Yeah.
The Forza bundle for the Xbox.
Right.
Like they make a shit ton of money doing that. So I don't think there's any going back.
PS2 come with the game?
PS5
or whatever.
Yeah. It did. So like they make a shit ton of money doing that. So there's no going back. But like we were talking before we got on there, Game Jam used to be a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
You get a Game Jam in the mail and it's, 7 or 8 demos on a disc that maybe you get to play 15 minutes each of.
Right, but
like,
still it's fun.
It's free.
You play the first
one.
mission and a half,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I want to go rent this game from Blockbuster, or I want to go buy this game, or whatever.
And guess what? It worked.
Yeah, right.
It's marketing that worked.
Right.
What was the game website where you could like rent them?
Gamefly. That's still a thing.
Yeah.
Gamefly is still a thing.
Really?
I saw yesterday. I was actually going to talk to you about it. I saw yesterday. I don't know if it was Gamefly or a similar site, but they were advertising renting 2K25 WWE.
That's crazy.
And I looked at it and said, that's a crazy concept in 2025 to rent a video game.
Well, when you were fixing the audio, whatever,
Talking about poop.
When you were manning the stations, we were talking about like how games used to. I don't remember. Games used to be free. Something.
No, downloading games.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't own games.
Yeah.
You just kind of own, or like you're renting them from the Xbox Game Store or
and
the
Xbox
PlayStation
is
Game
terrible
Store.
with it. Xbox is probably the worst with it, man. Because not only now do you have to buy Game Pass, but there's like 3 tiers of it. So like if you buy Game Pass now, that is your normal Xbox Live, and you get like 25 games.
The whole Game Pass and like PlayStation Plus thing really throws me off.
And then
it
they
makes me,
remove
like,
games, and then they...
Yeah, it makes me not want to get any of that because I'm so worried about, well, if I start getting invested in this game and then I take it off, or if I don't feel like, wanting to pay the triple platinum pass or whatever this,
You know what sucks? And I literally last night this happened. I know we got like a minute. Last night this happened. I had a question in my mind to myself about a PS2 game. I'm like, damn, I remember this being a thing on a PS2 game, but I can't verify, I can't find it online. I went downstairs, turned on the PS2, put the game in, and had an answer in 2 minutes. Turned it on, game loaded, there it is.
Right.
Now, you got to log in to everything, log into your 2K account, log into your Xbox account, connect to the internet, sign up for a fucking account. Like, there's
Microsoft
so much
account.
Yeah, there's so much bullshit now just to play a game.
Yeah.
You buy a Switch from the store, your first Switch, you buy this new Switch, $600, and you come home and you spend an hour setting up a fucking Nintendo account.
Right. Or like switching your Nintendo account from your old Switch to your new Switch because you
moving everything over.
Right. You know that there's going to be like a transfer process, and it's probably not going to take super long, but you still have to, plug them in or whatever.
Buying the Island Transfer app.
Yeah.
To transfer your Animal Crossing.
Bring back the cartridge. 216-859-8699. 216-859-8699. This is the Rebel Radio Show. We're live every Monday right here at 5 p.m. on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene and making fun of Funko Pop collectors at the same time. For full show times, schedules, and more, WSRRradio.com, where you can also get shows like Shanae's Off Air. You get the...
I wanted to do a longer one that time, so...
You want to do it a little bit longer?
I think I just did.
Okay, I was giving you another option to add some time onto it, but...
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, yeah, no problem. We'll reconvene, all right? You get shows like The Pigeonhole. You can get Behind Enemy Lines. That's the Cleveland sports show from Pittsburgh that broadcasts at 10 a.m. all weekdays right here on WSRR Radio, part of the Morning Drive, along with the Indie Insight and the Grab Bag for your music variety. Also, 10 p.m., that's p.m., every weekday right here on WSRR Radio. You get True Vault Escapades. That's the Fallout-based radio drama from Preston Hardin, a 60s-style radio drama set in the Fallout universe that's fully voiced and acted, so make sure you check them out as well. And thank you to all of our awesome sponsors like Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago, GenericClothes.com, and Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA. Again, one more time for showtime schedules and more, WSRRradio.com. That number is 216-859-8699 to text into all of our shows, and make sure you get with us on the Discord as well. Until next time, I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Stout. To my right, Shani.
Bye, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Adios.
Peace.